Hey guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Spinnaker Spence 300. This watch was sent to me for free. I don't have to send it back. This watch I purchased with my own money. So yeah, you can get my honest opinion no matter what, but you can probably tell that I do really like this watch. If by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, I'll be leaving a couple links down below. I got this one from longislandwatch.com. I'm in the US. We are subject to tariffs now. This watch was much cheaper buying from Long Island Watch. This one here was sent to me from the official Spinnaker site, so I'll leave both of those down below. The retail price for this watch is $650 US. However, and it's a big however, they seem to be on a kind of like a rotational sale all the time. Sometimes this colorway is on sale, sometimes this colorway is on sale. So if you don't see your watch on sale, wait a week, go back and check it out, because you can get these things for about $350. I picked up this black one on a sale from Long Island Watch with a coupon for $300, and that was after tax, and there's no tariffs because it's already in the US. So yeah, pretty banging deal in my opinion. So you can see we have two colorways here. However, I'm going to pop it up on screen now. You can get this in 11 different colorways. Some of them are sold out, but I think they might get some restock on them. But yeah, most of the colors are available, so go check them out. Pretty bold colors on some of them, and then some more tame colors in other ones. So it should be able to find one that fits your interests. So the watch case is made of 316L stainless steel, has a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, screw-down case back. You can see here 300 meters of claimed water resistance, stainless steel bracelet as well, Swiss Superluminova on the dial and the hands. The watch is powered by the Miyota 9039 automatic movement. It comes with a 2-year warranty and ships in this nice travel case that you can see on screen here with an extra strap in the box. So a pretty nice overall package. So like I said, I was sent this maroon version here about 6 months ago. I've had it on wrist for quite a long time. I've had lots of time to kind of bond with it and grow with it, find out what I like and what I don't like. And then there was a point where it was not on wrist for over a month, I'd say. And then I put it on just the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, this is, I'm reminded again why I liked this watch so much. So I went to the Spinnaker website. I went to the Long Island Watch website, and it was on sale for $300. And so yeah, I picked it up. That's how much I like this watch. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good. So I say we get into the full review, see if it's worth your hard-earned money. Before we do a quick wrist check today. I was actually wearing this one because it just arrived yesterday, and I'm hyped about it. But I threw this one on for the review. This is the new Baltony pie pan that recently came out and that I just recently reviewed, so I will leave the link for the review right up here. Absolutely beautiful watch though. All right, so let's get into dimensions. Got a bezel diameter of 40.2 millimeters, case thickness of 11.5 millimeters, a standard 20 millimeter lug width, lug tip to lug tip of 47.8 millimeters. On the supply bracelet, 51.4 millimeter total length, and sized up for my 7.5 inch wrist with 3 links removed. This is on a different clasp though, so take that with a grain of salt. About 140 grams. So the size, I think for me, it's great. 40 millimeters, 11.5 millimeters thick, which is really impressive for a 300 meter diver. Very happy with the case thickness on this watch. And you can see it's a pretty flat case. There's a little tiny bit of turn down to the lugs, but for the most part, it is pretty flat. But you can see the case back is super flat as well. So it sits right down on your wrist. I love the way that this watch wears. I think it wears great. I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we have the maroon on my 7.5 inch wrist. And as you can see, I think it wears great. It's a pretty flat case, like I mentioned, but it fits me pretty darn good. It sits really flat on the wrist, as you can see there. There's pretty much no protrusion from the case back. And yeah, I mean, I think it just looks awesome. I get a great fit with this on the flat clasp, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I think the bracelet looks good. Crystal is clear enough. It's not the best crystal, but far from the worst crystal. Yeah, I just think it looks really good. The red really does pop. And I just had to get the red out in the direct sunlight there. You can definitely see there's like almost like a pinkish hue to it, but you can definitely tell it is a maroon or burgundy color, and a little bit of sunburst to it as well. I think it looks good. This one, strap combos, I found a couple that work, so I'll go throw them on those ones, but really it's the black one that's the strap monster. And here's the black one. In direct sunlight you can see no sunburst there or anything, it's just a matte black dial. But yeah, I think that looks awesome. Alright, this one is going to have a lot of straps for it, so let's go get into our strap show. So due to the colorway of this one, only a few straps I think look pretty good. This one is kind of a light tan khaki color, FKM cut to size strap, and I think it matches the indices just perfectly, and I think it looks pretty darn good. I got one more for this one. And here we are on a CNS watch band's burgundy strap. There's 2 layers underneath the watch, and this is kind of where the flat case comes into play. You can see, you know, in the middle of the case there it looks fine, but on the edges it definitely kind of floats above the wrist a little bit more than I would appreciate. So having a little bit more turn down would have been perfect on this watch, but it's still, I mean, it doesn't wear or look bad. It's just something to note. But I think the color match on this is just perfect. Obviously black straps will look good on this one too. Alright, now into the black dial. Here we are on the included black leather strap, just a minimal stitch strap, and it is actually pretty darn comfortable. It conforms to the wrist nicely right out of the box, and yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good. I know, you know, divers on leather are faux pas, but this is a waterproof leather, so I say why not? And here we are on a dark brown leather strap. This one is from Hemsuit. I'll leave the link down below. Pretty similar in design as the previous one, just dark brown instead of black. I still think it looks good. These straps are awesome, by the way. And here we are on another CNS watch bands. This is a single pass there, so the single pass definitely still wearing very nice and low to the wrist. This one is just kind of like a light khaki tan color, and I just think it looks awesome, and that's kind of the awesome thing about a black diver is it's going to look good on pretty much anything you throw it on, so you're going to have a blast with strap changes on this watch. I have been. And last but not least, we got the OG Bond strap. I think it's going to look awesome. It's got the little red accents to match the dial, and yeah, I mean, it just looked great. Looks really, really cool on this watch in my opinion. Again, there's 2 layers underneath it, and you see in that little tiny gap right there. It's really my only gripe about the way that this watch wears. Is, thinner nylons or single pass seem to be fine though. Alright, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. Alright, so let's talk about the case finishing. And case finishing is done very nicely. It's a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. You can see the tops of the lugs there are a vertical brushing. Really nicely done. Flipping it to the crown side here, you have a 7.5mm signed screw down crown. Really nice, big and grippy. It doesn't like stick out far. There's no like sharp edge on it or anything like that. So it's a really nice crown and very nicely signed there. You can see the case sides are horizontally brushed. Again, really nicely done. And then you've got these high polished chamfers that separate the 2 surfaces. I think the polishing is done very nicely. The transitions between the 2 surfaces are done very nicely, nice and crisp. I will say these lug tips here, they're a little bit sharp, but it's not anything that I've noticed on wrist. The nice thing about this is the bottom edge is also chamfered beautifully and polished, and so that just makes this super, super smooth on wrist. It feels great. Flipping it to the case back here, you can see you got a signed screw down case back, brushing, and then a spec sheet here on the inside with the Spinnaker logo. I think it all looks very nice. Again, there's no sharp edges on this anywhere. Even this laser engraving here feels really good. It's not catching on any material or anything like that. So really, really happy with the case back on it as well. You can see the bottom of the lugs. They are vertically brushed there. I guess horizontal, vertically brushed. Again, just everything is done very nicely on this watch, and I'm overall very happy with the case finishing on it. All right, so let's talk about the bezel. So first off, the bezel insert. I'm pretty sure this is an aluminum bezel insert, but I don't see it specified anywhere on the page. It does have some lume on it though. You can definitely see it easier on this one here. That's why I'm using this one. But you can see the lume pip there at the 12 o'clock. You've got the larger batons there at the 5s, and then these little tiny pieces here underneath the numerals, those are also Lume there. So it is a pretty nicely loomed bezel. It's not completely loomed, but mostly Lume there. Good design. I like it a lot. The bezel itself, stainless steel, fully brushed there. There's no polishing on it anywhere. You can see the teeth look very nicely machined. It's not like overly sharp or anything like that. It's a pretty low profile bezel. You can see it is a sloped bezel insert there, but you get plenty of grip on it. And I think the bezel action is very good. So I'm going to let you listen to it here. So it's kind of this like deep, very solid feeling bezel. The resistance is pretty high, I'd say, but for me, it works nicely. The alignment, spot on there. I will say this one here, it's a little bit tighter. The bezel action is a little bit tighter. It sounds exactly the same. It's 120 click. I don't know if I mentioned that. 120 click unidirectional, locks right into place. There's no play on either of these bezels. So yeah, I think the bezel will get a little bit easier to turn. But yeah, I am really happy with the bezel on this watch. The bezel action is fantastic. It's, yeah, really, really happy with it. All right, so let's talk about the crystal. First things first, we'll test both of these for sapphire. It's positive for sapphire on that one. Positive for sapphire on that one. So it is a sapphire crystal. It's double domed. It's a very subtle double dome. I don't even know if you guys can see it there, but it is a very subtle double dome. There is some blue and a reflective coating on it. It's a pretty subtle blue. I thought the blue was going to bother me a little bit, especially on this black model, but it really doesn't. There are times where I will say the crystal gets a little like a milky hue, and that's kind of common with these blue and reflective coatings. It's just something to know. It's not horrible at all. But yeah, I think the AR coating on the crystal does a pretty good job. And yeah, I think it's actually a pretty decent crystal. Definitely could be a little bit better, but it's really not that bad at all. I think the crystal is definitely not a drawback of the watch. I'll say that. All right, so let's talk about the dial on the watch. So the dial is done the same no matter what colorway you get it. Some of them do have a sunburst dial, so you can see the maroon one here is a sunburst dial. The black one is just a matte black. The dials are printed. They have an applied Spinnaker logo, which is polished there. I think that looks pretty good. You have your Spence text down there with the N having the Spinnaker logo, which is kind of cool. And then you have an accented depth rating there. Depending on the dial of the watch, that changes colors, obviously, and that matches the lollipop on the second hand. You can see here on the maroon one, we do have a kind of a faux patina look. I think it's done really nicely. It's not overcooked or anything like that. The black one here is just a white lume. I think it looks really good. I believe it is C1 Luminova and not C3 Luminova. You'd have a little bit of a green tint on it, and I don't see that anywhere, so yeah, and it definitely isn't as strong as my C3 watches. So we'll get to the lume shot here in just a second. But I think the dials on both of these watches are done very nicely. The printing is nice and crisp. You can see the dials are nicely centered in the dial opening. You do have an exposed rehout there, pretty shallow for this style of watch. Really happy with the handset on the watch too. I love a broad arrow style handset. You can see they are fully brushed there. So legibility on this watch is excellent. Really, really good. The handset I think is a good size, good length, all that fun stuff. So yeah, really, really happy with the dial on both of these watches. All right, so getting to the lume, I'm going to pop up the lume shot here. You can see it against the Addy's Dive Willard in the middle. Both of these watches, they do great. But yeah, it's definitely not quite as strong as the Addy's Dive. I put that as like a 7 out of 10 when it comes to the lume. I put these at like 5 out of 10. The nice thing is that I can still, if I charge them up right before bed, I can still read them in the middle of the night with my eyes adjusted. So the lume is actually pretty good on this. I do kind of lose the hour hand, but for the most part, I'm still able to read it. It just takes a little bit extra time. The bezel does fade pretty quickly, but the usable lume on the dial I think is actually pretty decent on the watch. It's just not the best. All right, so let's talk about the movement of the watch. So the movement inside is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement. It is 28,800 beats per hour, so 8 ticks of the second hand there every second. They are reliable, they're accurate. They got about 42 hours of power reserve. They hack they hand wind. I mean, it's a perfect movement for a watch like this. It allows them to keep it nice and slim, 11.5 millimeters, even though it's a 300-meter diver. So yeah, I do like these movements. I tested both of these. You can see their accuracy here. I'll pop them up right on screen there, right over top of each watch. So yeah, pretty happy with the accuracy on these watches. Can't really complain too much. The operation of the movement is done by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Again, nicely signed, good grip, good size. Really happy with the crown. Smooth screw out action there. You get a decent little pop out too. First position is your smooth, just buttery smooth hand winding. Second position jumps right into the time setting. So this is the Miyota 9039. So no date movements, just a 3-hand movement. So no ghost date position, which is nice. The alignment on the hands, I'll show you here. Just bang on. Yeah, really happy with the movement on the watch. Really happy with how it feels. It feels nice and solid. The crown, it's got a little tiny bit of wobble in it, but not too bad. Yeah, it's just overall a very good, nice setup, and super smooth screw in action. Picks up the threads every time. So yeah, really happy with that. All right, so let's talk about these straps. So like I mentioned earlier, each watch does come with a different strap. So we have both strap styles here, which is nice. I can show you guys what they are like and how comfortable they are. So let's get into the additional strap. So first off, you have a Tropic style strap. It's just a silicone strap. It's a little bit stiff, a little bit stiffer than I would like. I wish they would use an FKM, but I think it looks pretty good. It definitely looks pretty good. It has a nice solid buckle on it, which is signed there. It does have a quick release as well. It's also signed on the bottom side there. So yeah, I can't complain too much. It's a free strap and it's decent. It's actually pretty decent. I would suggest, putting this in some warm water or something like that and kind of folding it in on itself so it can, conform to your wrist a little bit better. It's definitely not a super soft silicone or super soft like FKM material. So yeah, these ones are a little bit more dense, a little bit more flexible. And yeah, that's my only real complaint with this one here. Just a little bit stiff out of the box, but it's actually still a very nice strap. The black one here, this one came with their leather strap. So you can see here, it is water resistant leather, so that's kind of cool. It's nice and thick up by the watch head, but pretty thin in the watch hole area there. It's a good size, good length. Tapers down to 18 millimeters. You have the same Spinnaker buckle there, very nicely done. It's a good buckle, clean stitching, really nice. And then you've got quick release on these ones as well. This one I like better than this one here, so just something to keep in mind. It's a pretty nice leather strap. And I think it goes nicely with the watch too. So yeah, I'm overall, I mean, for some free straps in the box, these are actually pretty darn good. But getting to how the watch is probably going to be worn most, and that's on the bracelet. So we have a 3-link solid bracelet here. You can see the links, they're kind of these rounded like pill shaped. I think they look good. I like it better than like a typical oyster style bracelet. Brushing on the top there. Brushing on the side, you have push pins for sizing. I think I removed 3 links for my 7.5-inch wrist. And then you have male end links here. They stick out a little bit, but it's really not that bad. They turn down pretty good. You do have quick release spring bars as well, which is a huge bonus for me. So really happy with that. They're nice and easy to use. You can see the spring bar fitment, really nice and tight. There's no gaps or anything like that. And they follow the case curvature just spot on. So I am really happy with the bracelet. Doesn't pull hairs. The fluidity is very good. The bottom edge has been rounded off nicely. I was able to get a very good fit. Getting to the clasp, you can see here, I actually have an aftermarket clasp on this one. It just uses spring bars here, so I got one of those 18 millimeter on-the-fly adjustable clasps, and I threw it on here. Yeah, I'll leave this link down below as well. Got it from AliExpress. I forget how much it was. It wasn't much. But yeah, it just kind of, makes this the perfect package. But as far as the original clasp, so here is the original clasp here. It's Spinnaker branded on the top. You got nice brushing on the top, brushing on the sides, and a nice polished chamfer. It's a milled inner and a very nicely done pressed outer shell. But you can see here, the tolerances are nice and tight. Tolerances up here, a little bit loosey-goosey, but not too bad. It opens and closes just fine. I haven't had any problems as far as that goes. Got a nice satisfying click there. You have, 6 levels of micro adjust there, so you're going to get a really good fitment on this watch. This bottom edge here, there's no sharp edges on it or anything like that. Same with this here. What comes in contact with your wrist has been kind of deburred or de-edged pretty nicely. So yeah, the clasp it's fine. It's nothing special, nothing fancy, but it's actually a pretty nice clasp. I just happened to have one of these laying around and I figured I would try it out. So yeah, just something to note. It's a good clasp, and yeah, got no real issues with it at all. So there you go, guys. That is the Spinnaker Spence 300. It's a watch that I liked so much. I thought it was so nice that I got it twice. And I gotta say, I am really happy with the black colorway. I'm pretty tame when it comes to my watch color selection, so the red is a little bit bold for me, and I still wore that watch quite a bit, so I knew I was going to like this. The black looks excellent. I was in the market for a black dive watch, and yeah, so I had to get it. $300 is kind of a bargain for this watch. Miyota 9039 sapphire, good bezel, good case finishing, super thin, nice bracelet. There's not a whole lot to complain about, guys. It's a very fun and cool watch for $300 US. And I think you guys are going to like it just as much as I like it. So I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.